Welcome to a special edition of Main Street Host Under Review. I'm here with our social media marketing manager, Aaron Shipley. So Aaron, let me ask you a question. Why do I need social media?
In the past 4 to 5 years, social media went from being something that is this right for my business to this is absolutely necessary for my business. Consumers want to see your presence on social media. They want to know the ins and outs of your business, and it puts a nice face to your brand as well.
Now, there's a lot of networks out there. I know I can't maintain all of those networks, but how do I know which ones I should definitely be on?
Depends upon your business, but a good one or two to definitely get on are Facebook and Twitter. Facebook is the top social network, over 1 billion users, and it celebrates its 10th year in February. So it's held strong for 10 years. Twitter is number 2, and as we all know, it's all over the media, and the buzz generator is what it's known as.
Tell me a little bit more about Twitter. I just feel like I don't really understand, 100%. I would call myself a novice, especially when it comes to Twitter.
Twitter allows for short, quick updates. It's 140 characters or less, and it gives you the opportunity to start a conversation with people that you normally wouldn't, because there is no privacy settings on Twitter. So it allows you to enter into conversations through hashtags.
That's what I was going to ask you about, hashtags. That for me, I get the concept overall, but I know a lot of people, they struggle with that. If you could just tell us a little bit more about hashtagging, how that creates the buzz, how you can kind of tie that in all together and to help your business.
Hashtagging is very simple. It's just the pound sign followed by a word or a phrase, which allows you to know what trending topics are in the United States at the moment. Right. You'll see that along the one side of Twitter. Twitter is actually a place I go to for fast-breaking news. You can stay up to date with what's going on in the moment. And usually I've noticed within the past year and a half, a lot of news hits Twitter first, and you can follow that news off of hashtags. You can follow conversations off of hashtags.
Or even like if you're a big fan of the Main Street Host Under Review, you'd be able to join that conversation.
Yes, you would.
That's great. That's great. Now, I'm starting out on social media. Again, complete novice. I'm maybe a brand new business owner. Maybe I'm someone who's been in business for a long time and has kind of neglected that element of my business model. How do you suggest that I gain followers, that I gain fans, that I can generate interest in that area so I can get a return?
I would definitely suggest to start off pay-per-click advertising on any new page. Facebook and Twitter both have great ad platforms where you can target specific demographics, people in your area. If you're a flower shop, you can get people in your area, and it's a good way to get legitimate followers and fans, people that will definitely be interested in your business because you've targeted them through their profiles.
Generating that buzz.
Yes, generating that buzz.
Absolutely. Now, is social media more effective to build brand awareness or to help increase sales?
I think it can be taken both ways. A lot of social media, people say you can't get a return on interest, you can't measure the return on interest. I disagree. I think definitely social media is the perfect way to build your brand awareness by sharing content and putting your best foot forward as to exactly what you want your consumers to see your business as. But it can also increase sales. I've made 2 purchases off of Pinterest in the past 6 months myself, right. Just from finding the content that I'm looking for. Right. So yes, I think you can measure a return on interest, but number one, brand awareness. People want to know more about you.
Sure. I'm going to put you on the spot here because this is something I hear a lot. I'm a business owner. I have Facebook. I have Twitter. Maybe I have Pinterest, even a Google+. And they're just, I don't see any value in it is something I would hear, something similar to that. I have these networks set up. What do you think would be the common things or common elements of why they're not getting any sort of return from those areas?
The first question I would ask someone is, how often do you post? Are you staying active on here? A lot of times people will post once a month, and that's not enough for social media. Your customers are on social media daily on their phones. Sure. And if you're not getting a response from it and you're not posting, that's number one. Number two, are you putting out the right type of content that people want to see? Are your posts aligned with what your business does? Because that's why your fans are there, is because they know your business. So are you giving them the type of content that they want to see and share and interact with?
Looking to engage those users.
Yes.
Because I mean, I've seen too where people are like, well, I post, daily, but maybe they're not posting the right thing. They're posting a picture of a dog or something, or they're, maybe from their personal life on their business profile. I mean, that's got to be.
Yes, you want to keep your business profile strictly separate from your personal profile. Save the pictures of your kids, grandkids, puppies for the personal profile, and keep the business about business. If you post a picture of a dog, hopefully you're a dog breeder. But yes, you definitely want to keep the type of content that you're sharing quite different than what you would share on your personal profile.
Relevant to your business.
Yes.
That makes perfect sense. Can you give us some general advice about being a business on social media? Maybe just some quick tips. Something to get us started.
Active.
Right.
Stay active. Start blogging. Provide the content that's making you the authority in your industry. And you're going to do that through content. So use it. Don't let it sit there and get stagnant. And a lot of platforms change quite often. So if you're staying active, you're staying up with the changes and keeping on top of everything.
Now, what would you say to a business owner that says, I just don't simply have the time to spend hours and hours and hours on these social media platforms? How do we help them? How do we guide them in the right direction?
I'd say it's not hours and hours and hours necessarily to make a post. Do I think that spending hours per week on social media will give you a return in your investment? Yes, I do. But everyone has 5 minutes to go make a Facebook post.
How do you approach business to business and business to consumer businesses on social media? Is there any sort of common ground with both types of businesses, or are the approaches completely different? So your business to business versus your business to consumer.
The approach is completely different because different networks work well for business to consumer versus business to business. Business to consumer, definitely Facebook, Twitter. Pinterest is perfect for anything visually based retail. And Instagram. Business to business, I'd say Google Plus and LinkedIn. You'll probably get a lot of leads generated from there. Should you be on Facebook as well? Yes. Should you be on Twitter as well? Yes. But those two networks are really for business to business marketing.
So you mentioned Instagram and Pinterest. These are definitely two new areas to a lot of, I think, business owners out there. How can we really incorporate that? I mean, what are the benefits to using those two specific platforms?
Pinterest provides great backlinks to your website, and you can optimize your pins around the search terms that you want it to show up under. So if I'm a jewelry store, I'm sharing my necklaces. I want to put, this necklace is perfect for a newly engaged bride. People looking for brides might come across this necklace as a gift.
For business to business social media marketing, what is its effectiveness? How can it be effective?
I think it can be extremely effective, especially for establishing who you are in your industry. If your competitors are not on social media and you are, you're one step ahead of them at that point, because you are establishing your brand in multiple areas at this point.
Right. How do we get a business owner over the hump, so to speak? Because again, there's just I feel like commonly a lot of business owners, whether you've been in business for many years or just starting out, how do we really get them on board with social media and its benefits?
A lot of times when people ask me, why do I need this? I'm old, I don't understand social media. I'll ask them if they watch television. And they always say yes. And I say, what do you see on every single commercial? Follow us on Twitter, tweet this, go to this hashtag. It's everywhere around us, so you need to be a part of it. Right,
absolutely. Now, the return of investment on social media, is it measurable? And can you just explain a little bit of maybe how you measure that, or if it can be measured?
Yes, it can be measured. I would say the best way, Twitter, Pinterest, Facebook all offer their own analytics. So you can go in and see what people are clicking through. But I would definitely recommend using Google Analytics with conversion tracking to see exactly where people are going.
Right. Now I'm going to ask you kind of a long-term question. Where do you see social media going in the next 5, 10, maybe even 15 years? Where is this whole social media train, if you will, where's it heading?
In the future, there'll be less negativity associated with finding your ROI in social media, and people really realizing that this is necessary. I think that as consumers, we're turning to social media more and more before we make purchases to find more about the businesses that we're working with. Right. And I think that we'll see where Facebook stands, but Google Plus is really coming as a forefront in the social media
coming into their
realm.
own.
Yes,
Right.
they're coming into their own finally. It started out slow, but I think it's slowly taking a different direction. So
That's great. Erin, thank you so much for your time. It was extremely informative.
thank you, Pat.
Have a great day.
You too.